Good morning. I think it's December 15th on a Sunday. Um, and I've been reading C.S. Lewis's book Mere Christianity. Um, and this morning I've been reading Horace Mann's lecture when he started the public education system in this country back in 1837, 1840, coincidentally the same time as the Transcendentalist movement in our country. It was a very pivotal time in our country. Again, that was pretty much hijacked and destroyed by the Civil War in our country. The Civil War was horrendously detrimental to America. I would say irreparably destructive. Since not many good things happened after the Civil War in our country. So with that, I was reading C.S. Lewis said, Horace Mann, he started his lecture and he started the principles of the American public education system. He talked about education in terms of cause and effect. He talked all about that, cause and effect. We know the principle of cause and effect in our immediate actions, but he was talking about cause and effect of generation upon generation. And this is vital. I wish to God more people would know about this. But he talked about just the cause and effect of one generation upon another generation. And at the risk of offending any boomer out there, the boomer generation, post World War II, the generation born, 1947 on, which 1947 opened the floodgates of hell upon this country, upon the whole world, but mainly in this country. I keep thinking about that. It's the CIA was created. The state of Israel was created. I'm not saying Israel is evil. I'm just saying there was definitely an agenda. Anyways, aside from that, so my daughters are Gen Z, and I believe Gen Z, yeah, they're starting a revolution. They're starting a revolution all over this country, all over the world, actually. They're sick of the system that the boomers have created. The boomers have wasted their lives creating a system that is extremely oppressive, self-serving, greedy. There's not much good that came from the boomer generation. And I'm not blaming all boomers, of course. I don't lump all people into one category. Everyone makes their choices. Every individual person makes their choices according to their conscience. Um, so yeah, Horace Mann had the burden of, he wanted to instruct children growing up in virtue and morality. Which, okay, like me, I was born 1970. And I honestly cannot put my finger on any point of my education that focused on morality or virtue. Yeah. And as a result, yeah, I lacked a moral compass when I was an adult. I wasn't an extremely bad human being when I became an adult, but I lacked a moral compass. Something that should have been fortified. My parents did what they could. They did their best. They didn't know much about parenting, but they did their best, and I give them credit for that. They're both not alive right now, but oh my God, the things Horace Mann was saying, like, he was saying the 21 years that it takes to create a full man or a full woman, a full human being, an adult, a responsible adult human being. The 21 years he was saying that it takes to create that. Those years go by. And he said he wishes it was 21 days that it took to create a complete human being, an adult, responsible human being, we would take it more seriously than we do. But 21 years goes by fast. Yeah, and then what I've been reading about from C.S. Lewis, who, like H.G. Wells, he was, these guys were more famous for their fiction books, but they were phenomenal. They had phenomenal minds. C.S. Lewis started his book just analyzing, even before he went into Christianity. And I am not a Christian, just to make that clear. I do believe that Jesus Christ existed. I've been reading the Gospels lately. But I will have no part of any religious system, because I believe these systems are just created. They're a creation of man. Most churches are businesses, if not all of them. Anyways, so C.S. Lewis talked about the 4 cardinal virtues: prudence, temperance, justice, and fortitude. And those virtues were actually defined by Plato, and and reiterated by Aristotle after him. But even just this world is the way it is because we failed our children. We don't take education seriously. We don't consider the coming generations after us. We don't. As the human race, we just don't consider the future enough. And so here we are. We have we live in the present of basically the billionaires in society that have controlled the future. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, 100 years ago or longer, started hijacking the future because they were wealthy. They were just normal men, but they had wealth, and so they controlled education. They controlled automobiles. They controlled the pharmaceutical companies. Of course, all of it based on petroleum and oil. Yeah, this was like 150 years ago, I think. But change needs to happen. Change needs to happen. Humanity can't continue on like this in their legacy. It's ridiculous. And I mean, I could go on and on, but obviously, and I don't call myself a conspiracy theorist, but our world system needs to stop being controlled by these billionaires and these billionaire companies that are just hell-bent on creating their own world. Absolute narcissists. And the first step in that is reforming a drastic reform of our educational system, which is all based on the Rockefellers and the money that they had, which is irrelevant. So yeah, that's my rant. And I'm continuing on with Horace Mann. So I don't want to ramble in any other directions right now, so until next time.